On the news tonight, Vice President Osbc advocates the virtue of God's love, unity, and brotherliness. Osho indigents urged to pay taxes regularly. And in sport, Anthony Joshua may not return to the ring until December. Good evening, and we are glad to have you join us on the Major Report. I am Olubomi Ajiboye Agbola. The celebration of the resurrection of Jesus continues as Christians today gathered at different programs organized to meet him in Galilee. Osbc reporter Omotayo Adebodo covered the program in some centers in Osogbo, the state's capital. This report.
Easter has always been a major ceremony for Christians across the world. The celebration, which spans about 3 days, terminates on Monday, known as Easter Monday, which is usually the final day of the entire celebration. Easter Monday was mainly for going to Galilee, a gathering of believers where Christians display love to one another. Speaking with Osbc News on the importance of the Galilee celebration, Apostle Olujimi Adegoke, leader in charge of the Cherubim and Seraphim movement Spring of Faith, Osogbo, stated that the day was set apart for the ascension of Jesus Christ after he has risen from the dead, which gives believers hope that they will also rise again on the judgment day.
Everything called Christianity is centered around today. The Bible is essentially the death, burial, and the ascension of Christ. Without this, then we cannot be called Christians. We are celebrating his ascension today. We are very happy that Christ has risen, and today is a day set apart that is risen and is gone to heaven.
Similarly, evangelist Odewole Damilola said Easter period is a period of reflection on our walks with God, advising everyone to live a life which was exemplified by Jesus' death.
He gave us a template on how we can live with love amidst everybody. And Easter period is a period of love, is a period where Jesus has come to give us life and to give us in abundance. So Jesus came just for the remission of our sins, to die for our sin, and to make us to have a place.
People looked forward to being at Galilee, not only because Jesus Christ commanded his disciples to meet him there on the third day after he arose from the dead on Friday, but also because of the enormous fun that is characterized with the gathering. This is Omotayo Adebodo reporting for Osbc News.
The same development, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has admonished Nigerians to remember God's love for humanity during the Easter season and always. The Vice President gave the admonition in his Easter message at the Aso Villa Chapel, Abuja, as Christians in Nigeria joined other faithful worldwide to celebrate Easter, commemorating the resurrection of Christ from the dead. He cited the scriptures on the need for sacrifice, unity, brotherliness for growth and sustainability of the country. Similarly, Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State called on Nigerians to pray for the country and the state, emphasizing that the lessons of Easter are profound and deep, demonstrating their timeless power to inspire people over the ages. Similarly, Chief Justice of Nigeria Olukayode Ariwola has rejoiced with Christians in the country and across the globe on this year's Easter celebration. Justice Ariwola, in a statement, counseled the Christian folks to use the occasion to pray fervently for peace and tranquility in Nigeria. According to the statement, the Chief Justice also appreciated brother justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria and supporting staff who have delivered 272 judgments in the normal, civil, criminal, and election-related appeals under immense pressure through unalloyed cooperation since the beginning of the current legal year of 2022 and 2023. Meanwhile, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has charged Christians to use the occasion of Easter celebrations to reflect on the essence of the divine sacrifice by Jesus Christ. This is contained in the governor's Easter message signed by spokesperson Malam Olawale Rashid, noting that Easter impressed on humanity the unquantifiable power of love, tasked Christian faithful to let the valuable lessons of Jesus' sacrifice reflect on them all at all times. He also charged Christians to hold on to the message of love and compassion, which are the basis of the Easter celebration, saying that with love, people will not only enjoy a peaceful society but also make the right progress. Governor Adeleke said Easter is a classical example of the power of love through Jesus Christ, who laid his life to save mankind from the consequences of their transgressions. He urged the faithful to imbibe the culture of selfless service to humanity as exemplified by Jesus Christ, advising them to be concerned about the good of each other and show tolerance irrespective of differences. Beneficiaries of Imole Free Train Service have been charged to reciprocate the gestures of Governor Ademola Adeleke by paying their taxes regularly so as to keep enjoying the good works of the state government in order to make the state a better place for all. The coordinating director for Ministry of Commerce, Industry, Cooperative and Empowerment, Mrs. Kehinde Odediro, gave the charge while bidding farewell to the beneficiaries of the free train ride who are departing Osogbo for Lagos. Oluwatobiloba Odunoga completes the story.
Bidding farewell to the passengers of the Imole Free Train Service who came home to celebrate the Easter holiday with their families and loved ones after the celebration of Easter, Coordinating Director, Ministry of Commerce, Industry, Cooperative and Empowerment, Mrs. Kehinde Odediro, assured that the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke will continue to promote life-changing policies that will improve the quality of life of the people in Osun State. She admonished the beneficiaries and people of Osun State in general to continue to and ensure that they do what is expected of them at every point in time. The CD Ministry of Commerce, Industry, Cooperative and Empowerment affirmed that the Imole Free Train Service will be available during Eid Free Trade celebration between 22nd and 24th of April this year.
The turnout is very impressive. Right now we are having over 300 passengers on the board, and they will be picking along the way. They will pick some passengers at Ede, some at Iwo, Ibadan, before they eventually get to Lagos.
Some of the beneficiaries of the Imole Free Train Service who spoke in separate interviews with Osbc News, including Mrs. Rashidat Bello, Ms. Fumilayo Folorunsho, Pastor Isaac Abimbola and Chief Atonda Jakumolu, a program which they noted has helped in providing succor to families living outside Osun State to celebrate festivities with their loved ones at home. The passengers showered encomium on the state governor for his good gestures towards making life bearable and worthwhile for the people of the state and beyond. According to them, the Imole Free Train ride gave them the opportunity to spend the Easter holiday with their families and loved ones.
For me to have seen this kind of opportunity, then I had to just grab my opportunity. So our governor, Charlie, sir, thank you so much. God bless you for this opportunity you have granted us. God will keep on enriching you. And this your tenure, will enjoy it to the fullest. Please keep doing this good work.
We have been planning to go, but 2 weeks ago, People seized the opportunity to go today. Besides that, I wish him to success and keep it up. God will be with him.
Àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe alákòóso wa tí wọ́n gbérù nǹkan báyìí kalẹ̀.
The Osun State Broadcasting Corporation.
I apologize for that mix-up. Christians have been admonished to emulate the teachings of Jesus Christ and see his resurrection as a way to redeem themselves. Christian clerics gave the admonition during the OSBC 2023 Easter picnic. Nafisat Oyedele has details.
The Osun State Broadcasting Corporation hosted its 2023 Easter picnic today as a way of celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ with love and togetherness, as the occasion was graced by churches, schools, orphanage homes, and individuals across the state. The media outfit made the occasion memorable with showcase of various talents in music, dance, drama, among others, to entertain guests. The occasion featured sermons, worship songs, and praise, quiz competition, and many more drew many Christian faithful to the premises of OSBC. Earlier in his remarks, the chairman of the occasion, who also doubles as the Director General of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Mr. Rashid Folaranmi, admonished Christians to imbibe the golden rule, which says, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. The DG, who was represented by the Director of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Olushola Bolaji, maintained that showing love and paying true allegiance to God is the major way of serving humanity.
The golden rule says, do unto others what you want to be done to you. So if we as humans, if we can imbibe all the messages, which is obedience, which is love, which is understanding, fairness, and bearing true allegiance to God Almighty, if we can do that, humanity will be better.
Also, the mother of the occasion, Yeye Dupe Adeleke, who was represented by Honorable Mrs. Ayo Awolowo and Honorable Mrs. Moji Omishore, urged the children, as they are the closest to Jesus Christ, to make him the pillar of their lives. However, in their admonitions, clerics describe Jesus' resurrection as the atonement of their sins. Christians are therefore enjoined to toe the path of Christ to make Nigeria a safe haven for all. The royal father of the day, the Elekusa of Ekusa, Oba John Omolosho Makanjola, gave his royal blessing at the Easter picnic. Some of the attendees of the event also expressed excitement for being part of the occasion.
The program was awesome and the Spirit of God moved. We all enjoyed God in this program.
Meanwhile, students from different schools, children and adults from different churches also entertained the audience with their sonorous and musical voices coupled with lovely dance steps. Nafisat Oyedele reporting for SBC News.
In the meantime, the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto, Most Reverend Matthew Kuka, has called on Nigerians to take action and save the country from collapse. The bishop, while noting that Nigeria is being confronted by a series of security challenges ranging from banditry in the northwest and north central, terrorism in the northeast, militancy in the south-south, to calls for secession in the southeast, among others. Also, he enjoined Nigerians to pray and take action to fashion out the Nigeria of their dreams as preparations to usher in the newly elected leaders next month reaches crescendo. Reverend Kuka also emphasized the critical role that the judiciary plays in shaping the future of Nigeria, as he urged the justices of the bench to recognize the immense responsibility that rests on their shoulders and to approach their work with a deep commitment to justice, fairness, and the rule of law. He asked the incoming administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu to address the security challenges facing the country. The Nigerian army said troops of Operation Adarindaji has neutralized 2 bandit kingpins and arrested 1 after an offensive operation in the criminals' hideout or at Yatasha and Chabi villages in Maru local government area of Zamfara State. A statement by Director of the Defense Media Operations Major General Musa Damandami said one of the bandits escaped with bullet wounds. It said the troops further conducted an ambush on bandits and discovered a large herd of rustled animals at Danmaki village in Kankara local government area of Katsina State. The statement explained that the troops neutralized another bandit and recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 150,000 rustled cattle, and 40 rustled sheep, among other items. It said the military high command commended the troops and pleaded with members of the public to always provide useful information relating to criminal activities. The Nigerian Army has reiterated its resolve to deploy technology to enhance its operational capabilities. The General Officer commanding 3 Division and Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Abdulsalami Ibrahim, made this known during the combined graduation ceremony of young officers and soldiers of Exercise Shining Star 3 and those trained on use of technology to conduct military operations at Small Arms Range, Miango, in Plateau State. General Abdulsalami noted that the use of technology would enable security agencies to be proactive in nipping any security breach in the bud, observing that accurate information on perpetrators of dastardly acts will reduce the state of insecurity in the area. Represented by the Chief of Staff, Headquarters 3 Division, Brigadier General David Kurumi, the GLC further charged troops to alive the knowledge acquired while utilizing it in the field. You are welcome to our sports segment. Anthony Joshua will not return to the ring after he appeared to have suffered a nose injury during the fight with American Jeremy Franklin. Joshua posted a statement on social media that suggested a lengthy absence from the sport. Omotayo Adebodo has more.
Anthony Joshua has announced that he will not return to the ring until December following this month's win over Jeremy Franklin. The British heavyweight star has been linked with a fight against Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury following his unanimous decision victory over American Franklin at the O2 Arena in London. Joshua lost his unified WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight title to Alexander Usyk in 2021 and could not reclaim them when he lost his rematch last year with the Ukrainian. Joshua called for a heavyweight showdown against British rival Fury after he battled a point win over Jeremy Franklin. Joshua previously acknowledged he would have considered retiring had he lost to Franklin, but he promises his enthusiasm for his sport is undimmed. In another development, Leicester City are in negotiations with former Aston Villa and Norwich manager Dean Smith over a short-term deal to try to save the club from relegation. After discussions with a number of candidates, including former lead boss Jesse March, Smith is Leicester's preferred options, with talks progressing well on a contract until the summer. Smith, who led Villa to the Premier League in 2019, was sacked as Norwich boss in December after suffering a defeat to Luton Town in the Championship on Boxing Day. As part of the deal to take him to the King's Power Stadium, former Leicester favourite Craig Shakespeare could also return as Smith assistant. In another development, Super Eagles forward Samuel Chukwueze equaled Lionel Messi's achievement at the Santiago Bernabeu after he scored 2 goals in Villarreal's 3-2 win against Real Madrid in the La Liga at the weekend. Chukwueze netted 2 top-class goals to help Villarreal record a first league win at Santiago Bernabeu since 2018. His performance against the La Liga champions earned him the Man of the Match award. Chukwueze became the first player to complete 7 dribbles in La Liga game against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu since Messi in April 2017. Chukwueze has now scored 3 goals against Real Madrid this season and took his tally in the league to 6. Also, he has scored 13 goals in 40 appearances in all competition for Villarreal. This current campaign, Villarreal's win against Real Madrid took them to 5th place on 47 points in the league table. Omotayo Adebodun for Osbc News.
While on the foreign scene, huge protests have taken place in Ethiopia's Amara region for the 5th consecutive day against government's move to dissolve our paramilitary force. Details of this and other stories are packaged by Abdul Adebise.
Demonstrators have blocked roads with rocks and burning tires to prevent the military from traveling around. Ethiopia regional states have their own special forces to protect their borders and to fight rebels. The government announced last week that it wants the special forces to be integrated into the federal army or police force in order to promote national unity. The decision has faced strong opposition in Amara with huge protests in cities and towns across the region. Police have said at least 4 people have been killed in a mass shooting at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky, adding that the suspected shooters have also been found dead. The Louisville Metro Police Department said there was no longer an active aggressor threat, but urged people to continue to avoid the downtown Louisville where the shooting occurred. Deputy Police Chief Paul Offrey said the lone shooter appears to be a former employee of the bank and authorities are continuing to investigate. A vessel with about 400 migrants and refugees aboard is adrift between Italy and Malta as it awaits rescue from Italian Coast Guard. According to Sea Rescue Support Service alarm, people on board made a distress call that the boat had been adrift for 2 days as it had taken on water and was without a captain. Spokesperson for Alarm Phone Brita Rabi said the boat has now reached the search and rescue area between Italy and Malta, and Italian Coast Guard have informed that they are sending a military ship to rescue the people on board. Abdul Adebisi, Osbc News.
The major report is a recap of some of the top stories. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in his Easter message admonished Nigerians to continue to exhibit love, unity and brotherly virtues to one another. We also reported that Osun indigenes have been urged to reciprocate the gesture of Governor Ademola Adeleke by paying taxes regularly for the socio-economic growth of the state. While in sport, we reported that heavyweight boxer Anthony Joshua may not return to the ring till December over nose injury in the last bout. And that ends the major report on OSBC TV. It was edited by Adibari Jimakinde. I'm Olubumi Ajiboye Abola, wishing you a happy Easter celebration.